should you do if you have to pass the GED test as soon as possible, maybe in a couple days or a couple weeks? Maybe you've got a job on the line, or you're trying to go to college or community college, or you've got some other reason why you just need to pass as soon as possible. What should you do? Or maybe you just want to. You don't want to drag it out. You just want to get it over with. What do you do? How should you study? What should you use? Let me tell you that right now. And I'm going to give you my own, I'm going to be honest here, I'm going to tell you my own opinion on this. I've been in the GED test prep for a little while. I've worked with students in person and online for several years now. And I'm going to tell you what I've seen work for other students, what I've had other students do in the past, in my own opinion, from my own experience here. So like I said, there's no guarantee it's not going to work for everybody, but I'm going to tell you what I think your best shot is. And so before I get into this any further, let me just say that this isn't going to work for everybody. This won't be for everybody, because not everybody should try to take the GED test in a couple weeks or a couple days or whatever your goal is. It's just not going to work for everybody. Some people, it's going to take them a couple months or 6 months or a year to get all 4 sections done. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Okay, but for those of you who don't want to wait and you just need to get it done, you want to self-study and bang it out, let me tell you what you should do. Okay, we're going rapid speed mode here, and this is what I think you should do. So first of all, here's what you'll need. The first thing that I recommend you do is you want to get a big book like this, like a big prep book that is going to cover all 4 sections. It's going to give you a comprehensive overview, and it's going to have preferably practice tests or material. I'm showing Kaplan here, so it doesn't have to be Kaplan. Kaplan seems to be the most popular. That's what I most often recommend to people, because that's what I've had the most experience with myself. It's not perfect, but it'll get the job done. So you'll want to get the 2019, 2020, whenever you're watching this video, get the most recent version. It's not that expensive. I mean, 20, 30 bucks. I mean, I would just do it. Just go for it. If you want to pass fast, you're going to need a good resource like this. And so they have all this online stuff. You can do it if you want. I mean, you don't have to, though. You just want to get a book like this. And it doesn't have to be Kaplan. You can do Princeton Review or something else. Just get a comprehensive book like this. It's going to cover all 4 sections. Get something reputable. I recommend Kaplan, but just go on Amazon and see what has a lot of reviews if you don't want to use Kaplan. Get something that has a good record of passing. Okay? So I'll come back to why that's important in a second. The next thing I think that you should get is just grab a notebook like this. This is just a simple 1-subject notebook. It's only got 70 sheets, but that's fine because you're not going to have to memorize a whole lot of stuff for the GED, but you should have some kind of notebook like this. This is literally like $1 or $2. You can get something fancier if you want. You can get like a bigger notebook, 4 or 5 subject notebook, but you don't have to. Just grab something, a couple bucks, whatever works, okay? And that's going to help you, because if you want to pass as soon as possible, you're not going to want to go back through this book multiple times and get all that information out. You're going to want to just take little notes and things that stick out to you, put them in your notebook. And it's a lot faster to go through, a couple pages of notes than it is to go through hundreds of pages of a big, dense book like this. Okay, and I'll put them side by side here so you can see, look at how thick this Kaplan book is compared to your own little notes. And plus, you'll have stuff in your own handwriting, so it's going to make more sense to you. So I would just get a notebook like this. And also, I recommend you get like a stack of printer paper that you would use for a printer. Just get like a pack of printer paper. They'll give you a couple hundred sheets. Get something cheap, $5-10 maybe, not that much money. Or if you really want to go over the top and really blow your test away, get a dry erase board, because on the test you'll be actually using a dry erase board with a marker for your studying. So you can get one of those, but I want you to have something to use as scratch paper while you're working on your practice problems for your test. Now, I don't recommend you write practice problems and you do your work in your notebook, because things are going to get messy. I would prefer that you just do your notes in your notebook and you have either separate sheets of paper, whether it's just white sheets of printer paper, or you've got a dry erase board, or just get a separate notebook. I mean, I wouldn't mix the notes and your scratch paper up, because things are just going to get messy. Up to you, though, like I said. And so then the next thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go on to myged.com and go to the official testing service website, and I'll show you how to do this. Sign up for an account, and then that's really when the magic's going to start. And so let me switch the screen. I'm going to show you exactly what you should do, and this is really going to be the bulk of the video, and this is going to tell you what you need to do to get through very fast. Okay, so I'm on the GED Testing Service website. It's just GED.com. Put that into Google or throw it into the search bar. Find a way to get here, GED Testing Service, put that in. And so you're going to first sign up and make an account. And so that's your first thing to do. Click sign up, make your account. It's totally free to make your account. Okay, it's not going to cost you a penny. And so I'm going to log in right now. And I already have my account on here. So you definitely have to do this. This is just non-negotiable if you want to pass at all, period, especially if you want to pass in a matter of weeks or faster. So once you get on here to your dashboard, there's all kinds of cool stuff here. And then eventually when you schedule your test, you click this little button up here that says schedule test. But what I want to draw your attention to right here, you see it's going to give you these options here. You can do language arts, social studies, science, and math, the 4 sections you have to know. So what I want you to do is just start with your language arts. Just click on it and learn about the test right here. Okay, go through this. It's going to tell you right here, you'll have 150 minutes to do the test, and it's going to show you, okay, these are the 3 parts, and it's going to tell you a little bit about the questions. It's going to give you the topics, and in Pennsylvania, it's $30 to schedule this. It might vary depending on your state, but that's not really the point. What you want to do is go down here, and you're going to go through all of this information right here. It says Intro to Language Arts Test, so you're going to click on this, and I'm not going to go through all this, but it's not going to take you that long. Just go through all of this stuff here, and the most important thing is to pay attention to this where it tells you reading for meaning. See, I'm not going to show all this here, but like I pulled this up here, it's telling me, you know, here's some things that you'll be asked: events, plots, characters, settings, and ideas. You'll be asked to do this, and see, it's giving you all this information here, what you have to know, and then it's giving you an example passage, and it shows you an example problem here. And so then, let me pull myself out of the way here. And so then you can go over to the next, and like you just go through all this stuff, okay? So let's say I went through all of that, and then you do the same here, identifying and creating arguments, okay, 4 skills. And see how it's just giving you a little bit of mini lesson here on what you have to know how to do. So you'll just read this here, just read it. It doesn't matter how long it's going to take you, just read it. It's not going to take that long, I promise. Go through the passage here, and look at the question here, make sure you understand how they did that. Okay, so you just go through all this information here. And then it says extended response, click learn here, and you'll go through all this stuff here. I mean, you don't necessarily have to go through all of this stuff, but I would go through as much of this stuff till you feel comfortable. All right, these videos are only a couple minutes each, so I would go through that stuff. And then after that, what you do is you're going to go down here and you're going to hit GED Ready Practice Test. So you're going to take that. It's $6, but just do it. You know, it's no big deal. It's $6. If you can't afford $6, then wait till you can. Save up your pennies, okay? Just find a way to get the $6. You have to do this because you're not going to know if you're ready unless you take a GED Ready Practice Test. So you do this test, all right? And so then you're going to get your score. And so then I want you to do that for each of the sections here. Okay, so just go through those little lessons and a little bit of explanations here for the language arts. Go do your practice test. Now do the same for the social studies. Look, here what they do. They tell you how long it's going to take to do the test, how much time you'll be given. They give you a little bit of introduction. You go down here through your study guide, and again, it's going to show you the same things here. It's going to give you an introduction, and then it's going to give you some of these skills here that you have to work on, right? And it's going to give you these little mini lessons where it's going to tell you some stuff that you need to know, how authors use language and social studies, blah, blah, blah. So definitely read all of this stuff. Just read it all and go through the examples here. Make sure you understand all of the examples. And then like for the social studies, what they do is they give you these free practice questions. So you want to do those. These GED flashcards, I think you got to pay for these. Okay, $15 for 30 days access. It's up to you. I mean, I have not used these, but you can go through these. I'm sure they're probably pretty good. You can do those for all subjects, it looks like. But you want to, again, go through all this free practice material. You don't need to get these. Okay, don't worry about signing up for classes or anything if you want to go through fast. Then you just go here, take that GED Ready Practice Test. Okay, and you probably already know what I'm going to say next. But what I'm going to say next is then go ahead and you do that same thing for the science. All right, so just click on to the science here and just go through these little learning modules. They're not going to take you that long. Like, for example, here we've got, it just shows you the skills that you have to learn. Claims and evidence in science. You'll be presented with science passages and you'll be asked to, it just tells you what you have to do here. So you'll want to read through that, look at the practice question. Okay, and so then you go through all these little things in your study guide. Then again, do these free science practice questions. Go ahead and pay $6, take that science practice test. Okay, and then do the same thing for math. Now, if you've got one day and you just want to take maybe 4 or 5 hours, like half the day, or it might take you the whole day. Doesn't matter. If you want to do all 4 of these in the same day, you could do it. Okay, you're probably going to be really tired by the end of the day, but you could do it. I'm not saying it's ideal, but that's definitely what you want to do first. Go through all of that free stuff that they're showing you right here how to do it. Same with the math. Get in here. Look, it's showing you right here, basic math, 10 skills. Okay, look at this. It's going to tell you, it's going to show you, you have to know how to do this. and it's going to give you an example problem, and make sure that you know how to do all this stuff. Okay, the math might take you a little bit more time than the others, and if all this stuff in the math is just looking like gibberish to you, that's okay. Don't worry too much about that. I'll show you what to do next. No, I don't want to update now. Okay. So now, when you do those practice tests, if any of the tests you get a score that tells you that you're likely to pass, go ahead and schedule, okay, for that subject. Now, it doesn't mean that you're guaranteed to pass, but it means that you're pretty much on your way and you should be in good shape to pass. So I would just go ahead and schedule it. Now, if you get a score that tells you that you're too close to call or that you're not likely to pass, then you're going to have to do some extra work. You're not going to be ready to schedule and take that test yet. So let me show you what to do. But this is really your bread and butter, guys, right here. Let me tell you that. Your goal is to just get on here, make a free account. All this stuff is free except paying for those practice tests, right? So you just get in here, and like I just showed you, literally it's that simple. Just get in here, do all their study guides. Just go through all this information here. Just one by one go through, and any notes that you want, just jot some notes down here in your notebook. There's not going to be a whole ton of a lot of stuff to memorize for these sections, but anything that you think that is going to be important, just put down in your notes, all right, as you go through. And then make sure you do all the free practice questions. And again, this is the most important thing. Take that practice test for each section. It's $6 a section, 6 times 4. So, you know, it's $24 total, but you have to do that. If you're not able to do that, then wait till you are. Okay, don't try to pass in a week or a couple weeks if you're not able to put that $24 down and do that. All right, so that's the first thing. Go ahead and take those practice tests, do all that information and do that, and then I'll show you the next step. Okay, so those practice tests are going to be really good indication of where you're at. Hopefully you'll be able to knock out a section or two, meaning you're likely to pass. Maybe, let's say you got likely to pass on science and social studies. Just go schedule those and go get those done. Don't sweat it. Don't worry about it. There's no guarantee you're going to pass based off of that, but if you've got to go, if you've got a limited time period, you've just got to go. Just don't sweat it. You know, just have faith in yourself that you're going to be in good shape. So let's say that, for example, maybe on the math section you're really struggling. What should you do? Two things. Number one, you're going to get that score report at the end of the test. So go through that score report. That's going to help you drill down on the topics you're having trouble with. And also, if you're just really struggling with the math, you just feel like you just didn't get anything on your practice test, you're really far behind, get into your book here and then just open it up. Okay, go through all the lessons. So here's lesson 1. What you're going to do is you're going to read the lesson here, go through all those practice problems, all of them. Make sure you do every single one of them. Okay, and then go to the next lesson, right? You know, go through this, read the lesson here, put some notes down in your notebook, and then do all these practice problems, or at least most of them. And same thing, just keep going here until you've gotten through all those lessons. Now, I don't know, I'm not going to count them here on video, but I think there's maybe 50 or 60 math lessons in here. So if you break that down, let's say there's between 50 and 60 lessons. You want to do 4 or 5 of those lessons a day. I would say that you should be done within a week or 2 weeks, or under 3 weeks you'll have gotten through all the math lessons. You can do even more if you want to do 10 lessons a day, do 10 lessons a day. It depends on what your pace is, but you want to get through all those lessons in here, or at least get through the lessons on the stuff that you're having trouble with, and take some of those topics and just put it into Google or put it into YouTube. You know, I don't want to plug my channel here, but you can see if I've got a video on my channel, or you can just check Khan Academy, wherever you like to get math advice on YouTube. Just find some videos here and just double and triple down on those weak spots. All right. Now, let's say that you've already, like I said, if you've already passed, if you already got likely to pass on social studies and science, just go take those tests. There's no need to go back through here and do all that extra practice. Now, of course, that's always going to help your score. And if you want extra confidence, then ideally you'll go back through this book and go over every single section. But if you really have a time limit, I would focus on the stuff that you're having trouble with. So if your scores on like language arts and reading and your scores in math, for example, are lagging behind, you'll need to get into this book and spend most of your time, organize your study time on those sections. No need to spend a whole lot of time on stuff when you're already likely to pass. And of course, then before your test date, there's extra practice tests in here, so you'll want to try those out. But the best indication is going to be those GED ready practices. You can go on there, buy another practice test for each of the sections if you didn't pass them on your first try. And by pass them, I mean you get a likely to pass score. If you didn't get a likely to pass score, you're going to want to review out of this book for a week or so, and then get in there and try it again, and hopefully you're going to pass. But as soon as you get a likely to pass score on a section, you're just going to schedule it, and then you'll be good to go. Life will be good. Okay, so hopefully this advice helps. I know it's not that simple and it's not that easy, but that's the key. Just go right through here. And for some of you guys watching this video, guys and girls, women watching this video, just by going on the GED website and going through those little tutorials that they give you for free, that might even be enough to help you get through some of those sections. Maybe not the math if you're just not a math person, or maybe not the writing if you're just not a writing person and all those writing videos, but you might just need to practice a little bit. And don't feel bad if social studies and science, that might lag behind a little bit. Some people have trouble with that, but other people go right through it. So hopefully you're going to go right through all these sections as fast as you can, and then you're going to organize your study time so you've got at least a couple hours a day, maybe 5 or 6 days a week, or more if you can put more in, and you're going to get into this book, dig into this book, find your weak spots, go through all the lessons. And if everything's a weak spot, like say for math, the whole section is a weak spot for you, you just feel terrible about it, just go through these lessons, read the lesson, do the practice problems, jot some notes down, and if you're really stuck or really confused, just take that topic, put it into YouTube, put it into Google, and like I said, just keep going here, just work through this, and really put a lot of notes in your notebook, so that way you don't have to go back and redo everything 3 or 4 times. Whenever you need to remember something, you just check your notes, and that'll help hopefully jog your memory. All right, guys, so I know that it's not that simple, but this is your best bet to do it in a couple weeks or even a couple days. Just if you want to do it in a couple days, what I would do is just get in there the first day. Make sure that if you're working, just take a lot of time off of work that week. You're going to have to. Okay, that's really the only way you're going to do it, because you're going to need time to do this, or just ask for significantly lower hours, because you want to the first day just go on to myged.com, just go through all those tutorials and go through all those practice tests. So you could probably do it in a day or 2 days and 3 days. I mean, it's not going to be fun, but it's not going to be fun to go through all this tests that fast, right? But definitely start with there. Like I keep saying, you want to get one of these books, either order it on Amazon or go down to a bookstore and pick one up. It doesn't have to be Kaplan. Just get something good like this, and whatever look for your lowest sections and your weak points on those practice tests and on your school report. Get into this book, do that extra practice, and then supplement with YouTube videos. And just make sure that you're setting aside sufficient time to do this, a couple hours a day at most days of the week. If you miss a day or two here or there, or something happens, you should be okay. But ideally, you just want to have a goal to just get through as much of the material as you need to, and then take practice tests until you've passed every section on GED Ready. Schedule it and then go and take the test. Okay, so if there's anything you want me to expand on more or clarify, just let me know. If you thought this was helpful, give me a thumbs up here and subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate it. So thanks a lot, guys. Good luck with your test prep.